Hi everyone, so I wanted to give you guys a review update on the new Leatherman Raptor tool that I got a couple weeks ago. I've been carrying it with me for a few weeks while on duty, and I thought I'd comment on some of the features that I really appreciate about this full-size multi-tool. First off, I'd like to talk a little bit about the shears themselves. Straight out of the box, these are incredibly sharp. A lot sharper than any other trauma shears that I've owned. And that makes it really easy to use these while on duty. If you make a cut, you don't have to repeat it. You never have to go over the same area more than once. One cut takes care of the job. I know, like last night, I brought a patient into the emergency department and the ED staff was trying to cut the guy's clothes off. And one of the nurses was using a pair of her shears and it just obviously was not working well for her. She's having a hard time. And she made the comment, does anybody else have a pair of shears? These aren't working. So I was more than happy to pull mine out and hand these to her. Now, it was so cool for me to see when she saw how easy these were to make these cuts. Her trauma shears really didn't measure up whatsoever to the Leatherman Raptor. These made the job look so incredibly easy. And really, these shears kind of speak for themselves. I know that I've had literally over a dozen people come up to me and ask to see my new knife. And it's kind of cool because I'll pull it out, I'll hand it to them, I'll say, it's not a knife. And I'll let them figure it out. I won't tell them exactly what it is. And it's so cool to see their eyes just open really wide and their jaw drop to the floor when they realize that this is a pair of trauma shears. It's so cool to see people be so impressed with this tool. And then they're even more impressed when I tell them that these are made by Leatherman. Now, I know at least 4 people that have already ordered these just because I've put them into their hands and talked to them a little bit about them, and they were able to play with these just a little bit. So really, the Leatherman Raptor speaks for itself. It's an awesome tool. The quality is exceptional. The craftsmanship on this really shines through, and you can feel it. Just how sturdy these are as soon as you just put them in your hand. Another thing I wanted to talk about, there's a couple other little features here. Now, when I found out that this Raptor tool had this ruler imprinted here on the steel, I kind of chuckled a little bit. I thought, it's kind of a cute little addition. It's nice they got the name Leatherman Raptor, but for my line of work in EMS, probably not really ever going to use it. That's the funny thing. A couple weeks ago, I had a patient that was in a car accident, and she had a pretty deep avulsion on one of her knees. Now, I had already approximated the size when I gave my report, but while I was at the ED, the nurse asked me if I knew exactly how long and how wide it was, or at least how wide and how long I thought. So I pulled these out because I remembered I had this nifty little ruler, and I actually went in there and I was able to measure it with this Raptor tool. So it's kind of funny. But it did actually come in handy. The actual practicality of this particular part of the tool, who knows if I'll ever use it again. I definitely don't use it on a day-to-day basis, but it is there if you want to use it. Now, I have not had an opportunity to use either the glass breaker here or the ring cutter. Haven't used those quite yet. But I would like to talk about both the oxygen wrench and the seatbelt cutter. Much like the ruler and the ring cutter, I really didn't think that I was going to use it that often, as much at least as I was going to use the actual trauma shears themselves. Some of you might work in the medical field. As you know, there's generally an oxygen wrench readily available with an oxygen cylinder. But especially in EMS, sometimes the wrench just gets misplaced or it falls off. It's not very easy to open an oxygen cylinder if you don't have a wrench or a pair of pliers or something of that nature. This oxygen wrench is such an easily accessible tool, both while the Raptor is deployed and when it's folded. I've used it, I couldn't even tell you how many times. I've used it so many times over the past few weeks, it's actually kind of funny. It is easier to use the oxygen wrench when this tool is folded. So let me go ahead and show you that real quick. Again, if you haven't seen my first video, I'll make sure to put a link down below. But I'll show you here, there's a couple of buttons. There's a button here, and then the shears will fold. What I really appreciate about the feature of this being able to open up with the shears folded, I've been carrying this tool folded in its sheath on my right side. So I can pull this out with one hand and deploy the oxygen wrench and the seatbelt cutter with one hand. And because of the nifty lever lock, I can close it with one hand also. So it makes using both of those tools rather easy. The other nice thing about the seatbelt cutter is it comes straight out of the box, razor sharp. And it works very, very well, cuts through seatbelts like butter. What's awesome about the Raptor is that you can use the seatbelt cutter both in the folded position and when the Raptor is completely deployed. As you can see, the seatbelt cutter extends past the base of the shears themselves. Now what's cool is that you can use this to cut through clothes also. If you make a little incision, let's say at the top of a shirt or at the beginning of a pair of pants, you can actually drag the seatbelt cutter straight down and it will tear like butter through those clothes. So that is a nifty tool as well. If you'd like to see a demonstration on the seatbelt cutter and maybe even the ring cutter, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. So we'll go ahead and fold that in, and also on the side here there's a nice pocket clip if you'd like to carry this in your pocket or on a vest if that's what you wear. I haven't used it. I prefer to carry it in the sheath. I really like the design that Leatherman gave to this sheath. It just is, the functionality of this is really, really awesome. The fact that the sheath can carry the shears both deployed and while folded makes every other tool obsolete. I really appreciate that these shears lock into this sheath. It makes it really awesome if you want to carry these horizontally on your belt or maybe upside down on a tactical vest. You know these are not going to come out until you release them, and then they pull straight out. Now I've been carrying these on my right side. Let's see here, I'll show you just like that, at a slight forward cant. The only issue I've had with these while deployed, locked in this sheath, is that I generally have to release them two-handed. So I'll reach over and push the little lever down, and then I'll have to pull these out with my left hand. Now the only issue I've run into is because I have to reach my left hand over, I've noticed that the screw here that actually holds the shears together, that's actually what locks in. And if I pull this at any angle, it tends to hook and it doesn't want to come out. So I really have to consciously think about it when I want to release these from the holster. I need to try to pull as straight out as possible, and then there's no issue. Other than that, this holster and these shears, they were made for each other, obviously. They work really, really well. Now again, going back to the fact that you can carry these in the folded position, they don't lock in, but they do fit snug. I have never had these shears fall out of the sheath, whether folded or in the deployed position. So the sheath does its job nicely. Well, that concludes this review update. Sorry it was so long. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Again, if you'd like to see a demonstration on how well the shears work, the seatbelt cutter, and maybe even the ring cutter, leave me a comment down below and I'll make sure to get a video up for you guys. Make sure to subscribe to my videos. Stay tuned if you're interested to see any more reviews from the 911 Medic. I will have one coming up here, another Leatherman multi-tool. It'll be the Leatherman Sidekick. So thanks guys for watching. Take care.